Last week it didn't, but we'll try and get it going here. So, okay, preparing to live stream webinar. Again, we have to do this. Copyright laws, they can't play the music for some reason. But anyway, it doesn't matter. We'll get to it. And I believe it is working now. Last week it didn't, but we'll
Yep,
try and get it going here.
good.
So, all right, we're good. Live streaming. All right. Okay, next up, of course, we have to hit the record button, and that is it here. All right, we're all systems go. Let's go, folks. Good evening and welcome to DayTradeSPY.com's Weekend Review. Intro to trading. All right, that's what it's all about here. And my name is Hugh. There's my beautiful dog Lucy, and I'm the guy on the right in the checkered shirt. That's me. Um, okay, there we go. Okay, we get the video going, live streaming video. Okay. I'm not very photogenic, am I? I'm not very photogenic at all. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay. No, it doesn't matter. That's what happens to old guys like me. So, okay, folks, let's get started here. All right. So today is Sunday, July the 27th. Hey, pardon me. Okay. Spent the day at the beach. Okay. I'm the de facto lifeguard. Okay. My local beach. We got a little private beach where we are. Anyway, folks, my name is Hugh, and Sunday, July the 27th, 2025. And questions box for your questions and comments. You'll find the icon on your Zoom dashboard. Click on that. I'm the only one that sees this, so go ahead and say whatever you want, all right? I'm going to be quiet for a few seconds while you read the disclaimer so that you understand that you're only responsible for your own trading, and past performance does not guarantee future results. Okay? All right, let's get started. I think you know the rules. You know the rules. Today we are going to discuss last week review. Can take a little poll, talk about the upcoming week, 2-minute tutorial. Your next steps to success, Q&A. We're going to have a little contest. I'm probably going to do it all within an hour because, frankly, I don't want to keep you much longer than that. Number one. Number two, yeah, I've got some guests over here this evening, so I don't want to keep them needlessly for too much longer, but I think we can cover most of this stuff in an hour anyway. Not a problem, not a problem. All right. All right, gang, let's talk about it. Well, why listen to us? Why listen to me? My name is Hugh. Early spent deep in the trenches. I learned all this stuff. Hardcore training, right? When you learn the hard way, that's when you really remember. That's when the lessons have the most effect. I discovered some pretty cool strategies that worked very well for me. People started to notice. They said, "Hey, you got to teach me this stuff." I said, "You, Hugh, are making money, and I'm not. What are you doing? And how do you do this? I've never been exposed to stocks or options, and this is all new to me. I thought that the harder I work, the more money I make, and company loyalty and all those other wonderful things. Isn't that something that things that they teach you when you're a kid? The harder you work, the more you make. Well, maybe that was true at some point, but now I think it's the smarter you work, the more you make. Work smarter so you don't have to work harder. That's what I say. But anyway, that's what we like to do. Work smart so we don't have to work so hard. The real deal, folks, been training internationally since 2010. That makes us, what, 16 years we've been doing this thing now? And I look at short-term breakout trades. So when I see a impending breakout trade, I want to jump into that one and make a few cents along the way and make some serious money. And that's really what it's all about. And want to remind you, Spy in the Market, our weekly newsletter that goes out every Thursday. And it is free, costs you nothing, just a very brief 3-minute read, just a few of my thoughts, a few of my experiences and different things. And sometimes we address some emails or whatever, questions and comments. But this week we're going to talk about trading an account balance under 25,000. Yes, the pattern day trade rule is right in there. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about that and how the best way to get around that is and what you can do to avoid that. Not that that, of course, goes without merit. It does. There's a reason, all right, that they have a rule against trading for balances under 25,000. They want to make sure you don't blow up your account. So I'm not sitting here trying to circumvent the rule. I'm trying to, I'm trying to, convey that if you are, looking to trade a lot, and you don't have that much money, you can get around it. It's going to take a little effort on your part, but it can be done. And but it is there to protect yourself from essentially blowing up your account. That you don't want to do that. So, all right, folks, let's take a look and see what happened here today. This week on the market, this is what it looks like. On Monday, we had another record high lifted by Alphabet, Google, and other mega cap stocks ahead of earnings. And it was tempered by Trump's tariffs threats. We had some perfect symmetry here. Take a look at this. This is actually really amazing how, excuse me, ran up, ran back down. Do you know that we actually closed 1 cent off the open? 1 cent off the open. That was actually really amazing how this market actually worked out the way it did. We had 6 wins that day on SPY. Tuesday, we had General Motors earnings. Well, they plummeted as investors focused on upcoming earnings reports. Signs of progress on trade deals lifted SPY back up to 629 by the end of the day. Yeah, General Motors said, you know what, these tariffs, not good. Uh, I believe, if I recall, they lost $1.1 billion due to tariffs, so did not look very promising. However, we made some money. We had 7 trades, 7 wins. Day trade spy during the trading room. On Wednesday, we notched yet another record high, lifted by Nvidia and held up as the European Union headed for a trade deal. We had 8 wins, 0 losses on Wednesday. A little different story here on Thursday. We had another record high on SPY. Positive economic news and robust earnings from Alphabet and other AI companies. Tesla, however, disappointed. We had 6 wins, 1 loss. And on Friday, more of the same here. SPY notched yet another record high. This seems to be the headlines. SPY notches another record high. Had a busy week of tariff updates, earnings. U.S. set to meet the European Union today, Sunday. I didn't get an update yet as to how they did. I understand last update that I did see. I'm going to see if I can find some information on that while I'm chatting it up here. All right, would that be under Wall Street Journal? Wall Street Journal. Let's see what they have to report. I believe. Okay. Trump and European Union reach tariff deal avoiding trade war. That is the headlines on Wall Street Journal. Pact imposes baseline tariff of 15% on the U.S.'s biggest trading partner. Um, really? I thought Canada was the U.S.'s biggest trading partner. What am I missing here? President Trump said he reached a trade agreement today, Sunday, with the European Union, avoiding a damaging trade war with the U.S.'s largest trading partner and making his biggest deal so far in his attempt to remake the global trading system through higher tariffs for U.S. trading partners. So it goes on to say here, it's a great deal for both parties, Trump said, following a face-to-face talk today with European Commissioner President Ursula von der Leyen in Trump's golf course in Turnberry, Scotland. Really, a lot of deals made on the golf course, folks. Let's see what happened here. The U.S. said it would set a baseline tariff of 15% for European goods, including automobiles. He said the European Union had agreed as part of the deal to buy $750 billion of energy products from the U.S. and invest an additional $600 billion in the U.S. Well, that deal creates some certainty in the uncertain times, and that's going to be interesting here. Vast majority of European Union exports include cars, semiconductors, and pharmaceuticals. So that's pretty good. All right, I expect the markets to go up tomorrow based on that news. Anyway, that's what that is here. And on Friday, we had 1 win, 1 loss. 1 win, 1 loss. Overall, it was a pretty good deal. Can't complain about that. All right, let's take a look here at the seasonals. We had, of course, the current SPY price is way up there, and the average of last 5 years daily closing price is the red line at the bottom here. So as we delve deeper into this, we'll see that historically SPY rose about 4 points last week and actually dropped 1 point the following week. That's kind of the way that looks. What moved the market here? SPY kept hitting new highs supported by trade optimism, corporate earnings. Prevailing trend is upward amid a packed week of earnings, Fed policy, economic data. It's all coming every day. There's something rising out of all of that and that we talk about. Rate cut pressure is still intensifying. Markets are watching for hints of easing, possibly starting in September. Valuations are elevated. Earnings are doing the heavy lifting now, and we can watch for some speculative frothing from the meme stocks. See what happens there. Got into a stretch of low volatility and consistent gains, but got 11 new highs in the past 30 days. Supported by a backdrop of easing uncertainty and growing clarity across key policy fronts. We've got deals already reached with Japan, UK, Vietnam, Indonesia, partially with China. European Union, as of earlier today, was a no-go, but it looks like that might be in with the deals reached sector over there. Canada, South Korea, and India still on the table. For some reason, Canada seems to be a little bit of a problem here. Trump says doesn't think they're going to reach a deal here, which means Canada's going to be paying the high tariffs if they don't get their act together. Here's a graph of Japanese stocks. They hit a record high after the U.S.-Japan trade deal. You can see how this thing just shot right up here last week after the announcement that the Japan-U.S. trade agreement has been ratified here. And of course, past performance does not guarantee future results. This is just a standard disclaimer here. And that's interesting how you saw the Tokyo Stock Exchange just shoot up on that good news, right? This graph shows the applications for U.S. unemployment benefits. That reached multi-month lows. Multi-month lows as we got in here. This talking about initial jobless claims that have declined and remain historically low, underscoring a resilient labor market. That's pretty good right in there. That's pretty good right in there. So looking like we've got a strong labor market, resilient stock market. And here's a chart of the European Central Bank cutting rates more aggressively than the Feds. The blue line here is the European Central Bank. The gold line is, of course, the U.S. Fed Reserve. And graph shows that the ECB has cut interest rates by 2% over the past year versus the Fed's 1% move. And it looks like President Trump wants to bring that down more in line with what's going on here in Europe. And we'll see what happens. I think this week, believe it or not, we actually have a Fed announcement, which I'll talk about in a second. All right, busy week of earnings ahead. The S&P 500 Q2 earnings. All right, we already this coming week, I think we're going to hit 38% of the S&P 500 coming out. Going to be a very big week for earnings. Almost 40% of the 500 companies, top 500 companies, are scheduled to report this week, and we did 16%. Well, we already did 26% this so far this earnings season, but most of them are going to come in here this week. All right, taking a look at last week, the S&P Grove 500 grows 1.5%, 8.6%, just trailing the Nasdaq's 9.3% year to date, and we're ahead of the Dow Jones by let's see a little bit there, we got 5.5% year to date. So far, it was the S&P that had the most growth here this week. All right, folks, we're gonna take a little bit of a break here and do a poll before we get into next week's outlook, and let's see what's going on here. Right? I like the interactivity here. And I'm going to let you read this for a second and then get into the polls while I take a little drink of my, I'll say it's an energy drink, but it's a sports hydration drink. So it's very tasty. No sugar, which is what I like. So here's the question, all right? Jeffrey Epstein is dead, but his files live on. The Justice Department decided not to release more documents to protect child pornography victims, and that President Trump's name is among the many in the files. Okay. So that's just convenient truth, right? Anyway, are you bothered by Trump's connection to Epstein? Please reply in the questions box. Are you bothered about that? It's probably pretty obvious that, his name is probably going to pop up once in a while there. So, all right. What's considered a win here? Okay, when we say win on that spreadsheet here or the chart, I'm talking about that we hit our targets. We hit our targets of whatever they were. Okay, 6%, 5%, or whatever. Okay, wow. Okay. No, no, no. Lots of exclamation points. No, 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 no. There's one yes. No, no, no. Another yes. No, no, no. No, no. Wow. Okay. Overwhelming. No. Another yes. Another yes. That's what, four yeses, five yeses. Okay. Okay. Yes. No. 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 Okay. Wow. That was a quick poll here. No, he's going to skate through it. No. Okay. Yeah, yes, yes. But it's typical Trump, born with a silver spoon in his mouth, typical immoral behavior, yes. So a few yeses, mostly no. Okay. Okay. Yes. Yes, a few yeses coming in here. Okay. Well, I should probably add them up. I would say, well, the vast majority is coming in as a no. And I don't want to spend too much time because it's not really that important. But I would say most people say no, not bothered. There are a few yeses and some yeses with some pretty strong opinions as to why they say yes. Okay. All right. All right. Mostly no, some yeses, and some qualified yeses. Okay, let's move on. The week ahead, Monday, it's a low, no news day. Not too much going on Monday. Things change pretty quick here. On Tuesday, we've got Jolt's job openings, Conference Board consumer confidence earnings. We've got Visa, Procter& and Gamble, um, UNH. What's UNH? I better check that. I want to see what that is. UNH. This is on Tuesday. Okay, bear with me here. That's interesting. I don't know what UNH is on Tuesday. Tuesday. Procter& and Gamble, United Health. United Health, that's what it is. Yes, United Health. Um, let's see. We also have as AstraZeneca. That should be AZN actually. AZN. Okay. AstraZeneca. Merck. Boeing. Bookings.com. Spotify, Starbucks, Royal Caribbean, UPS, Mondelez, PayPal. Wednesday, non-farm employment change, gross domestic product, pending home sales, Fed funds rate. That is the big one, Fed funds rate. Okay, and of course the ensuing discussions about that. I'm going to make this into a red one. That's the big one, okay? Earnings include Microsoft, Meta, Qualcomm. These are also going to be huge. Okay, these are also going to be huge. Okay, now we've got a lot of things going on here Wednesday. A lot of information. Wednesday afternoon, Fed funds rate. We've got Microsoft and Meta. I'm just curious to see. Not really sure what time they report. I would like to say, I'm not really sure. I'd be guessing if I said in the morning. Maybe I can find that out as to when they are going to report. So bear with me while I pull that up, okay? And I'm going to find that out for you right here. Okay, Wednesday, Wednesday. This week. This week here. Okay, I can't really see it here. Uh, next week. Okay, can't really find it here. Okay, Meta. Maybe I can pull it up this way here. Meta is going to be reporting after the market closes on Wednesday, and Microsoft is going to be reporting. So they are after. Microsoft is also going to be reporting after the market closes. So it's going to be an interesting time, right? Wednesday's going to be an interesting day. Thursday, we've got unemployment claims, PCE, personal consumption expenditures, which is the main, right? That is the main inflation indicator that the Feds use, which I find interesting because the Fed funds rate is coming up the day before. You'd think that it'd be sort of reversed. We also have earnings from Apple and Amazon. All right, these guys are also going to be high impact. Okay, and of course, Mastercard is in there as well. Friday. All right, Bureau of Labor Statistics, non-farm employment change, Institute for Supply Management, Manufacturing, PMI, Consumer Sentiment Report, inflation expectations. We've got earnings from Exxon and Chevron on Friday. Volatility looks like this. Medium for Monday, high Monday, let's see, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And of course, expect elevated volatility when President Trump speaks. All right, not scheduled yet that I see, but he tends to just pop in and out whenever he wants, and whenever he says a few words, the market tends to be more volatile. All right, we're moving along pretty good here, folks. Moving along pretty good here. Okay, don't forget, of course, the questions box for your questions and comments. Now we're going to take a look at the 50,000 challenge. This here is the challenge where we are turning $5,000 into $50,000 in 1 year. We started back on January the 3rd. We've had some ups and downs, no question about it. I'm going to show you the graph in just a little second here. This is it right here. We're currently sitting at 42,361, right in here. We are $1,841 ahead of schedule. I won't say we're coming into the last stretch of it, but we're within $8,000 of hitting our target. We're within $8,000. So I anticipate probably by the end of August, we should probably hit our $50,000. And don't forget, of course, we've got till the end of the year, right? So after we hit the 50,000, then we have to determine, well, what should we do? Take our money and run or keep it going? Tell me in the questions box. You want to keep it going and make, say, 80,000 or 100,000? Where do you think we can go? Let us know in the questions box, all right? And and we'll see what happens. So this column here, this one here, I don't have the headings up on there, but this column that I'm showing you, that's how much we made every day. This one, this column here, I should probably have put that in there as to where we are. This is the current balance, 42,361, and this is the difference of where we should be, 1,841. You can see on the graph here, the red line is the actual where we are, and the blue line is the budget. So we're a little bit ahead of the budget here. Okay, so it looks like it's pretty good. We're doing very well with it. All right, let's get on to the 2-minute tutorial, and we're going to talk a little bit about here because I get this question sometimes about keeping going when you hit your target. Should I keep going or what should I do? I suppose everybody's different, and I'm not going to kid you. Sometimes after I hit my target, I still keep going. But I can also tell you that so many times it's come back to bite me. So I've determined that, you know what, when I hit my oh, excuse me, when I hit my target, I should just stop trading. Unless I get really, unless I really see an obvious trade. But as a rule, I find it's just better that when you hit your targeted goal, simply stop trading for the day. So, as an example, we're taking 5,000, turning into 50,000 this year. We have our targets. When you hit your target, you should stop trading so that you're not tempting fate. You don't want to you don't want to get in a situation where you're going to regret it, right? And that's what's going to happen. So just stop trading for that day. You've done very well. Okay, now here's the reason. You were happy with your results before, so suddenly you're not now. Why not? What happened between the time when you set your plan, your targeted goal, and then you hit your target goal, you've exceeded it. Yes, I know you still have about 4 hours left in trading or whatever, and you want to keep going. Well, why don't you just stop and go do something else? You hit your target. You were happy then. Why are you not happy now? Continued trading is a sure sign of greed. It's a sure sign that often leads to relaxing your guardrails, leads to a bad loss, and leads to regret. I don't know about you, but oftentimes that happens to me. If not too diligent with this and not too careful, I will lead to another bad debt, another bad another bad trade. And it's simply because I got greedy. I kept going more and more, kept pushing the envelope until it reverses on me. Okay, and this is what happens. Markets don't go in a straight line. They go straight up. You're just not really sure where it's going to reverse. And we have our guardrails and our guidelines and our Fibonacci's and all that stuff, but there's no guarantee. Whereas in the morning, when I make my trades, I'm pretty assured as to where the market's going to go based on all the chart patterns and the trend lines and everything else that I'm looking at. Okay. One thing you don't want to do, you don't want to have a profitable day and then turn it into a negative day. That's not really cool. All right, look at trade to your plan and then you watch your account grow. Okay, that's as simple as that. Trade to your plan, watch your account grow. It's not that hard to do. As a matter of fact, working with somebody that's trying to make $200 a day, $200 to $300 a day, and they're doing very well at it. And I had the question posted, well, it's only 10:30, 10:40. Why are we stopping now? And then I tell them because you hit your target. That's why you should stop targeting. That's why you should stop trading. You hit your target. You know, at 9:40, 9:45, sometimes strange things can happen in the market. You get reversals, you get bounces off support or resistance. It goes the other way. Chart patterns seem to fill in an awkward way, whatever. So the way I look at it, when you made your money, just stop trading. You're done. You did very well. Okay, you did very well. You need to be more focused with continued trading. have to be more diligent. That's more required more, not less. And here's what happens. A lot of times people trade, they made some money, they trade again, they made some money, they trade again. Well, they end up relaxing the rules and they get lazy, they get crazy, and they end up in the loss, right? So when you're needing that more diligent, you need more, not less. Check your Fibonacci and other major support and resistance levels. Like you say, the market can go up and up and up and up and up, but at some point it's going to reverse, come back down. And that's a very vulnerable point to be in because you don't know if it's going to keep going or reverse. And if you're on the wrong side of that trade, you often end up losing quite a bit pretty quickly, right? Prepare to make your exits faster. Prepare to make faster exits the more you trade. All right, things get a little crazy, so you want to be out of your positions sooner rather than later. Intraday reversals, all too common, but not common enough that you can rely on them happening. In other words, I've seen that many, many times where the market reverses intraday, but not enough that I can bank on it. Sometimes the market just keeps going in that same direction. You don't know. You can't put your finger on as to when it's going to happen. Okay, you just don't know. The next one here, don't try to entice the market. It's sure to turn on you if you keep going. All right. For that last trade, just say no. That's what I tell people. Just say no. Just say no. Okay. It's not worth it. So I kind of wrote a little poem here. When you hit your target, you did well. On future trades today, no need to dwell. Stuck overnight, unable to sell. Can't do much about your funds going to hell. Start tomorrow with a fresh slate. Don't tempt market fate with losing overnight date that you will soon grow to hate. Right? Start tomorrow with a fresh slate. Don't tempt market fate with a losing overnight date that will soon you'll grow to hate. Just say no. No more trades today. Maybe I should have been a songwriter. I wonder if we can put that to a song. I don't know. Maybe somebody on our line will be a musician that can maybe put that into a song. That would be kind of cool. All right. Da, 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 da. Okay. When does the Fed Reserve Board report their profits? It's not the profits, they're reporting their interest rates. That's coming up on Wednesday, Phil. Okay, when does the Fed Reserve? I don't remember when the Fed Reserve reports their profits. Okay, so what are we talking about here? My goodness, time is going by real fast here today, folks. Looking for market success. This week we had 28 wins, 2 losses. Join the tribe, our tribe, the Day Trade Spy tribe. We have programs that work. Now look at there's a lot of places you can go for information. I'm not going to kid you. You know that. I was talking to somebody the other day. Said, "Well, YouTube videos." I said, "Okay, let me talk about YouTube videos for a second, okay?" Any of these free sites, it always comes down to this. You always get what you pay for. You get what you pay for. Now, some of these sites, now not gone through them, but I've had people that I talk to that have gone through some of these things. They say, you know what? Just spend the money, get personal mentorship. They recommend that. Get the personal mentorship that you get through Hugh and John. John, of course, is my target and is my partner in the trading room. You're not going to beat that because you get your questions answered real time live, your particular questions. If you go on these YouTube videos, like some of these things out there, you're not going to get the same. It's not going to be the same. And I don't know, some of them, they might cherry pick things. It's just, let's face it, you get what you pay for in this business. And good mentorship is, is something to behold, okay? And I know that, and I've had people say to me so many times, look at you, if you ever retire and you stop doing this, honestly, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I've had people say to me, they try some of these free things and some of these cheap, right? Some of these cheap programs. And what he said after that, I'm not going to repeat. But he basically called them a piece of, well, they don't work as well. Okay. You end up losing your money. Nobody even knows, nobody cares. At least with us, we can help you. We can help you. Join our tribe. We've got programs that work. So what programs do we have? Let's talk about them. We have, first of all, the Day Trade Spy Signal. If you are unable to join the trading room, join us with us every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 9:20 to 10:30. I get it. It's a bit of a tall order perhaps to Stop your life and do that. But if let's say you're taking the kids to school, you're on your way to work or whatever, you have your cell phone with you, you get the signal, the day trade spy signal to buy a particular option. Stop the car, load up your app, and get in, make the purchase. Okay, immediately put up for sale for a 5% profit target. If it is not sold by the end of the day, come back and sell it for whatever the market will give you. In all likelihood, you're going to get a lot more than 5%, especially if you're able to watch the markets and especially if you were able to, say, take our course or learn a little bit about what we do. That's really a no-brainer. The day trade spy signal is a no-brainer. Algo based, morning trades mostly, immediate buy, put up for sale for 5% profit target. Again, if not sold by the end of the day, sell it at market close. Now, I know that if you go to our website, you're going to get some pretty crazy pricing. All you have to do is email customer service at DayTradeSPY. They'll give you the best price. Okay. The Day Trade Spy pick of the day. Similar service, but a little bit different. This is a particular option emailed to you at 9 o'clock in the morning, 5 days a week. This is actually handpicked. Handpicked. And John and I sit down every morning and we hammer out the details. We look and see what news has transpired, what has come, what's up, what is coming up. We look at various news feeds, various Twitter feeds, different things, and that's how we come up with our profit, our target. Okay, handpicked, bought at market open. All right, buy it at market open when the opening bell comes. That's when you want to get this thing. Immediately put up for sale for 6% profit, and then now you can hold this overnight. The pick of the day you can actually hold overnight if you want to. Sometimes we recommend that, but in our reporting, we really have to close out our positions by the end of the day. So sometimes you're going to see, oh, well, we had a little bit of a loss on the pick of the day. But the reality is maybe completely different because if you're holding it overnight, it goes in your direction, you buy it at market open, you sell it, make some money, you go away. But unfortunately, those trades, if we reported them the day before that having had a loss, if in fact there's a loss, then you just we have to report it that way. So it's not really accurate the way we do it, but it's the best that we have, okay? Once again, email customer service at DayTradeSPY for the best pricing. You don't have to pay the top price. If you go to the website and go through the website, you'll end up paying for the price. I'm not really sure why they have it set up that way, but I tell everybody um, just go to the customer service at DayTradeSPY. Tell them what you're looking for. Ask them what's your best price on this service today, and they'll get back to you on that. Now, if you're just looking to start out, all right, just start out. The inner circle is the place to be. You're going to get your morning market assessment at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. John Smith, no, sorry, John Johnson. What am I thinking of? John Johnson writes this every morning. Just a brief synopsis of the way he sees the markets. He puts a lot of kind of information in there, but he condensed it right at the beginning. That's what you got to look at. He's very good at this, and he's very good at assessing the market, which way it's going to go. You're also going to get a follow-up report later in the day or in the evening as to what we actually did. And it could be very comprehensive. It could be something as simple as, for whatever reason, whatever drove the market. Okay, so a lot of activity happens during the day, during the market hours. You're also going to be invited to our Wednesday night weekly meetups. This is where we talk about anything and everything to do with SPY, charts, chart patterns, you name it, setup information. And these meetings, by the way, the Wednesday night meetings, these are recorded for later review. And you will automatically get the links to these in your inbox after the meeting. So if you happen to miss it, no worries, you'll get that. This is an outstanding way to get started, folks, especially if you're new. If you are already experienced and in the know, it's a great way to stay in the know. So we do the heavy lifting every morning in the inner circle. We give you our morning market assessment, the way we see things, all of that heavy lifting. We take out the noise. We determine what is important, what's not, and that's what we give you every morning. This is the most affordable service, and again, contact customer service at DayTradeSPY for the best pricing. Okay. Next up, we have our famous trading room, hosted by pro traders, yours truly. My name is Hugh, and my sidekick, John Johnson. John has been with Eagle, oh my gosh, for many, many years, more years I know how to count. He used to have his own service, then he retired, and Eagle brought him back after a few months. He was not ready to retire at all. He said, "Oh, I got to get back into this." So he's joined me with the trading room. This is what we do together. This is where strategies come alive every morning, 9:20 to 10:30. This is so cool. These are learn and earn interactive, exciting trading sessions. These are not dull, boring sessions where we talk about, oh, and put you to sleep. No, 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 no. These are events, and I've had people change their lives so that they can be on these events. Okay. Um, I remember months ago, a mother was online. She says, "That's when I take my kid to school in the trading room, but I've changed my routine. I've got friends picking up my kids. Some friends will drop by, pick up the kids. Their kids are already going to school. There's no, it doesn't matter if they stop, go a couple blocks out of their way to pick up their kid, take the kid to school too. So, and I've had doctors hold off patients because they're in the trading room. Folks, this is where it all happens, okay? Now, you might think that, well, if you are in the trading room, well, maybe they talk a lot about other things. Uh, they kind of get off on tangents. That's all part of the fun. It's all part of the thing that we do, all right? So we will talk about other things, but when it comes to trading, we're right on top of it. We discuss what's happened the night before, what's going to move the markets, what moved the markets from the day before, what we're going to anticipate in terms of market moving news items that are coming up, right? Like earnings and different things. How is interest rates going to affect the market? We discuss all of that, and that's what we do. So these are interactive, exciting training sessions. You can ask questions, get them answered in real time, real market environments here. Folks, we teach what we trade and we trade what we teach. I tell this every week. This is the most important thing because we trade our own systems. It's not like so many conferences that I'd gone to in the past, so many training sessions, webinars, whatnot. And I would always ask the presenter, so Mr. Presenter, I put my hand up. So Mr. Presenter, you trade this yourself, right? And did you know that every single one said, "Oh no, I don't trade. It's too risky for me," or "I'm just a presenter," or something. I was astounded that nobody traded that very system that they're espousing to everybody here that we should trade. We said we should put our own real money into it, right? We should put our own real money into it, but you don't have to. You don't have to. No, really? If it's so good, why wouldn't you? Okay, this is what kills me. So, folks, you're gonna get your questions answered in real time. And we've been running this trading room since 2010 live, okay? Again, contact customer service at DayTradeSPY for pricing. It doesn't get any better than that. Actually, the pricing I can tell you is $6.99 for 3 months. That is the pricing as opposed to going online and ordering it there. It's going to be quite a bit more. Folks, this works out to something like $11 a day. $11 a day. We're talking about well, I don't even know, a Subway sandwich, maybe with a drink or something. Not that much. Not that much. Can you afford not to subscribe to this? This is a valid question because I would give anything now to be able to go back in time and to have a Hugh and John show me things that they do every day to make money. Um, I would go back in time. I would give anything to for that to happen. Like it's just that good. Okay. So anyway, $6.99 for 3 months. Are you kidding me? That is a steal, an absolute steal. All right, let's open up for questions. All right, let's see. Okay, some people are saying go to the end of the year for 80K. Okay, I'll probably end up doing that. And by the way, those people in the trading room are witnessing that firsthand. Okay, this is not pie in the sky. These are not cherry-picked trades, and nothing like that at all. No backpedaling, nothing like that at all. These are all done before a live audience, these trades, that 5,000 to 50,000 special on that. And other people here, Jim L says, keep it going. Ed S, do 100K. Let me ask you, Ed, and a few others, would people believe that? Would they believe me if I said to listen, I turned 5,000 to 100,000 in 1 year? Would they believe me on that? Let me know if you think they would. Or if you heard that for the first time, or would you think that's, ooh, this guy's out there? Uh, all right, Alex F, all the way to 100K. Keep it going, Phil. Thank you. John S, probably somewhere between 60 and 75K. Ralph, keep it going. Let's keep it going to a million. Oh my gosh. Well, other things kick in at the million mark. Um, Frankly, I think I'd be a little nervous trading, say, $500,000. I also want to make sure my fills are going to be good and all this thing. I want to make it as realistic as possible, that 5 to 5,000 project here. So, okay. Okay. All right. So we're talking here. Somebody's asking a question about the pick of the day on Friday. It was actually the puts. This gentleman here asked a question about reading Trump's tweet last minute, asked a question suggesting I hold on until Monday morning. She might know it is down, ranging 20 to 25%. What do you think we should do Monday? I don't know if to see a Monday in the trading room as to what we're going to do with that yet. Should I claim loss and sell right at the open tomorrow? Wait and see what happens during the day. Okay, Bruce, I'm not really sure at this point. A lot can happen between now and tomorrow morning. I probably wouldn't want to be holding that into Wednesday at all. I'll probably take a look and make a decision on that. Although for reporting, I already had to report the loss. I reported the loss as if it's an end of the day loss because they want us to tie up loose ends by the end of the day. Personally, if I'm sitting in that, I probably would have waited until Monday to see which way it's going to go, right? A lot can happen on the weekend. So, okay. Thanks for that, Mark. He says, good poem. Many talents, you. Thank you for that. That just kind of came to me. Sometimes I think of poems and I just like to, and I start writing. I don't even know half the time I'm starting a poem. I just put in these words that rhyme, and then okay, let's take it to the next level and make it rhyme, right? So we'll see what happens. So, all right, AI can make songs like that for you. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure they can, but I don't like to use AI for stuff. I just feel that's a little cheating if there's some funny way of twisting that out there. But I feel that I like to use my talents. I don't want to rely on AI for anything here. All right, M Max said 2 p.m. Wednesday. Not sure what you are referring to on that, Max. Might want to elaborate on that one here. Okay. Where do you publish the wins and losses? I publish them in the inner circle uh, follow-up, daily follow-up. You'll see every day what we did, and we get a detailed explanation as to when we got in, when we got out, how many contracts, that sort of thing. Okay. So you have to join the inner circle if you want to get the numbers on the wins and rate and wins and losses. So, all right, my account is under 25K, and I bought the pick of the day on Friday, but I exceeded my day of day trades. So broker didn't let me close the trade. So still in that trade, what do you recommend to close this trade? Okay, so John, I'm suggesting that you could probably close it on Monday. Um, Maybe call your brokers, say, listen, I'm not initiating any new trades, but I do want to close my position. Tell them what you're looking to do. Maybe the guy just didn't understand what you're trying to do there. So I would call the broker and find out on that one, okay? Okay, let me see what else we have cooking here. We're cooking tonight. We are cooking. I would because I've done it. Okay, I think Scott has done the 5 to 25 or 50K or whatever. Um, and I probably would buy it. I think people would be skeptical about turning 5K into 100K. I know, and Ralph, it's the funny thing is, we do it live in the trading room. I mean, we're turning this money into, it's not like we're turning. Okay, so Monday we're not trading $40,000. Right, that's high risk because if you turn the entire capital, you're gonna, at some point it's gonna reverse on you. What are you gonna do? Let's say you have 40, let's say you have, $48,000 in your trades, really, and you're going to trade that much if that's all your account balance is. I think that's just plain foolish. That would be just plain foolish. So we do calculated risks with this whole thing, and that's how we're able to turn 5,000 to 50,000. So we're almost there. But I agree, there'd be a lot of skeptics with this turning 5,000 to 50,000 or 100,000 rather. Fed Reserve at 2 p.m. on Wednesday. Yes, at 2 p.m. Wednesday, the Fed Reserve will release their interest rates. So it's going to be interesting to see if they keep it the same or they raise it or what they do or maybe even lower it. I know that Fed Chair Powell doesn't want to lower it, doesn't want to play into Trump's hand on this one, but we'll see. We'll see where it takes them. So, all right, kind of went through that pretty quickly, didn't we? This is kind of almost a record for us here. What are the questions here? I'll be here for a long time. Ralph, thank you so much for that. So I think that's really kind of important, you know. Being part of the trading room brings you closer to perfection, if there's such a thing to trading. There's never going to be any perfection, but you're gonna see everything we see in this venture here, and we're doing it on in a different environment than you would probably do it. Okay, we're doing it in some kind of a we're just trading in a different environment. I think if you follow along the trading room, you're going to pick up a lot of great information that you can apply to whatever your trading style is. I mean, it just works really well. We have a lot of sort of universal kind of what's the word I'm looking for? You know, like the strategies that would go with it. Just as an example, all right? Just an example. We talk about getting it in the morning and say with the pick of the day. And I've had people say to me they just can't seem to get it for the morning, you know, market morning open. And getting into it, I find out that, you know, yeah, no, you know, putting the ask price. They put the ask price, then it comes back rejected because the market went higher, assuming calls. They put the next order in for, you know, the ask price, which is now higher, and it goes on like this. And they said that, you know, by the time they do get it, the market's now falling again. How do they get in? What do I know? How do I get in and they don't? They want to know. They thought I might have had some inside tracking the market. I said, well, I don't have any inside tracking the market. I wish I did, but I don't. Hmm. I doubt I ever will. But here's the trick. There's a trick to that. That one little trick. So let's say the pick of the day is a I don't know five something call. Let's say 570 call, whatever. And it's going to cost you $3. That's the ask price. The bid price is say 496. 496, $5. But as the morning kicks in, you see it pushing to the upside, right? The opening bell comes as $5. You put your order in now it's 502, 503, 504, 505. It's going up. Now you're scratching your head. Oh my gosh, am I missing a trade here? 505, 506. No, you're not. Instead of say the 506 ask price, put your order in for say 507 or 508 or 509. I know it's counterintuitive. You're actually bidding more than the ask, right? But you know, if the market's being pushed up, you might as well get in the front of the line and get the trade. And I assure you, if you come in with a reasonable trade, okay, I'm going to take 510 for that thing, I'm sure you'll get filled. So you hear the bells and everything going off. It's been filled. Keeps going up, keeps going up. Now you could take your say you're looking to make 6, 7% profit, 8% profit. Take your profits. This way you can cover everything at the one with the one stone, right? So you get to the front of the line and you get your trade in. Simple as that. People ask me, well, why do you do that? I said to get the option. If I want, I'm going to buy it. If I see the stock going up like crazy, I don't want to sit on the sideline watching it. I want to get in and practice it. And that's really what we're doing there. So nothing illegal about it, nothing immoral, nothing at all. But I'll tell you, if you chase it up there, it comes back. So often I hear those cases are gonna, you know, they can wipe you out if you're not careful, right? You got to be very careful with these things. All right, so um, and there's not much you can do about it. It's just the market is the market. So, all right, what percentage of the portfolio would you recommend to put in a single trade? See, it's hard to tell because for me, I'm just if I'm pushing my limit, then I'll just transfer more money into it. So it's not a big deal sort of for me. But I would say 30%. It should not be in any more than one trade. You want to live to talk about it tomorrow. You don't want to get wiped out now. You got to wait a long time before you replenish it, or if at all. You want to make sure that you have plenty of ammo to work with, right? And so yeah, I would probably look at 25% tops and just work that up. If you have huge, huge, huge money, maybe trim that back a little bit because you're just having a dollar amount rather than percentage on that. So, okay, those numbers you showed us earlier, are they real? They are real, absolutely. All this is best, real for sure, real for sure. Okay. So, all right, you know what, folks? I think it's time. Yes, it is time to play. Pick a number between 1 and 100. So I'm going to give you a few seconds here to pick up a number between 1 and 100. Put it in the questions box, not the chat box, but the questions box. Okay, and I am going to select, I'm going to wait another 30 seconds here for all the numbers to come in, and then we're going to spin our random number generator. We're going to spin our random number generator, and we are going to see about making picking a winner, right? So let's just do this here. Okay, we'll just wait and see. Okay, give you another few more seconds, folks. Don't delay. This is no, you can do it. Okay, we're gonna close off the picks here in 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We are closing off. All right. David O, the last one. Okay. All right. Now we are going to bring in let's wheel this in right here. Here we go. Day Trade Spy random number generator. All right. This is not the number, folks. It's not for so we're gonna click here and spin the wheel, all right? All right, not 47. This is we're gonna click this. Okay, there it is. Oh, number four. Number four. The answer is number four. You're supposed to pick the number between 1 and 100. The person closest to 4 is going to win. Wow. Okay. John H is at 24. 24, John H. Scroll through. Okay. Arnold P at 14. I'm going to write this one down. Arnold P is at 14. Arnold P is at 14. Okay. Arnold P is at 14. 14. Anybody? Oh, John S is at number 12. Okay, I think I have the answer, John S. The answer is John S. I better write to get his name here. He came in at number 12, therefore he is the winner. Let me just prove this to you. Here's how this works. Oh my gosh, through the power of the internet and programs that work, I am going to make this thing. I'm going to show you so I can prove to you that he did this. And I checked the time. He is before the cutoff. Okay, now the only thing is that for privacy concerns, I do have to block out his name, his last name. Okay, there we go. Okay, there it is right there. He did come in before the time frame that I mentioned. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick it up here and print it off on here. There he is right there, John S. He came at number 12. And you saw the answer to the calculator. It was what, 4? It was 4, right? The number generator said it was 4. So we are going to cancel this off and take this off there. All right, so congratulations to Jonas. I will send you the ebook. I'll send you the ebook, Triumphs and Tragedies. Triumphs and Tragedies. And thank you all for joining us, folks. I know that a little short today, about a few minutes, but If you stand by, you're going to get the URL to subscribe to our world famous, all right, world renowned Day Trade Spy trading room. Do so, and I'll see you back here tomorrow morning, people in the trading room. Been a pleasure, folks. Take care, everybody. By the way, the recording of this should be online in the next day or two. Good night, everybody.
What you do, give it all to you, and trust the process and keep your eyes on the prize. I can tell you what I'm seeing. You can have